Hello, everyone. My name is Tanushree Sultan, and I'm from first year ECE. So today we are here with another amazing fourth year, right? So without a further ado, let's get right into it. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hi, Tanu. I'm good. I'm just glad to be done with college, I think, with my course.
Well, thank you so much for choosing onRec. I hope this thing you'll really enjoy it. So without um any delay, please, if you could give us a little bit of introduction about yourself, it would be nice.
Well, I'm from architecture. Like I did my bachelor's in architecture from here. Um, Getting into it was sort of hard. Like I came into college not knowing how it would pan out. Like it was a risk, and I honestly did not. So at the time, it seemed like getting into IIT was enough, and I sort of reasoned that I would have enough alternatives if architecture didn't go my way. Um, and I mean, over the years, I've come to have some sort of like a love-hate relationship with architecture, but I think that I found my niche, and I enjoy that a lot. And yeah, hopefully, as the years progress, I'm going to get deeper and deeper into that. And right now, I'm just going to like uh, sort of acquire all the skills I need do do what I do better.
Okay, so basically now you're enjoying it, is it?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I could
I
say
mean,
that.
it's not it's like a very um, I mean, let's just say it's not in line. Like what I want to do is not in line with what is profitable or what is popular and so on.
Okay.
So it's complicated, to say the least.
Oh,
So
I
uh,
see.
that's-
Okay. So if you have to give one word to your entire college experience, what would it be? What is that one fantastic word that you would give?
I would say growth probably.
Okay.
Like I think um, I mean I've become like I've been a lot of people over the years, and I think I sort of enjoyed that. Um, like in my first 1.5 years, I was different, and then the next 1.5 years were a little more different, and then the next 3 years were again very different. So yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it has been. I mean, I like that I got the space to like grow as a person, and yeah, I mean, just try and be whoever I wanted to at a particular time.
Okay. So it's been much of up and down ride, something like that, roller coaster ride for you. Has it been that? Matlab, in the beginning, did you feel like, oh, this is not my cup of tea? Ever did this situation ever happen to you?
Um, I mean, so for most part, I think it was my relationship with architecture that like
Bothered you?
soured the college experience. Um, because I mean, so most of the time I've been like top of my class or whatever, but felt
Oh,
like a I never felt any sort of connection with architecture until very, very late. Like, so for example, we have not for by example, but we have a 6 month internship, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if you know, but there's an entire semester that goes for the internship. And before that, I'd actually been on exchange, and I had sort of failed a course there, which was like the most important course of them all. But um, when I came back to India, and I did that internship, which was basically I guess you could call it a village near Dharamshala,
Mm-hmm.
um, with uh, with a lady called DD Contractor. I think that sort of cleared up a lot of things for me, and it sort of gave me hope that you know I can. I mean, there is some sort of space for me within architecture.
There's hope for you as well in architecture types.
Yeah, I mean, there is a sort of, I mean, there is a kind of architecture that appeals to me. And I mean, obviously, even Dee is not, I mean, she's semi-famous. I mean, she's actually quite famous depending on who you talk to, but it's just that, like there are a lot of like a lot of types of architecture, and she was actually practicing one that sort of appealed to me. And I mean, obviously, I have my disagreements with her, as you do with any,
Person in
major
general.
figurehead. Yeah. So, but at least there was like, it showed me that I could sort of go down a different path and try to do something on my own. And yeah, after that, it was like trying to figure that out. And so after that, I took a gap year with a lot of Botsara running around. I took a gap year, but I wanted to take a gap year because like I had just had a sort of realization, and I wanted to let it. I wanted, like, I started asking a lot of questions. I wanted to read books and try and
Learn more.
yeah, more. I mean, not just about architecture, but like more about Indian society and stuff like that.
Okay, so the fun part. What is the most memorable incident that happened to you in your college? What is the most memorable incident in your college?
I'm not I'm not a fun person at all. I am not one
Did
for
you not make
parties or
any memories? How did you start making friends then?
strangely enough, most of the closest friends that I've made are actually working. See, in architecture, we have like a yearly competition, a convention in which, like, basically they let the briefs out about 2-3 months beforehand, and then they give you time to work on it.
Okay.
So yeah, it was like mostly participating for these competitions. So I did it for 3 years. All like we generally only participate till our third year, and I did it for all 3 years. And I mean, it was here that, like, I mean, because the conditions are such, like, in our first year it used to be very hellish, because we used to, so we uh, it's a very sort of regimentalized, or almost army like sort of thing, like not physically exerting, but the the strictness or whatever is very similar. um, so we used to stay together all day in the department, only going out for meals, and we used to sleep only 5 hours a night,
Wow.
all working towards this competition. I mean, our seniors weren't the best people, and they were also very insecure about us running off.
Is that
So
fun?
it was fun in its own ways. I mean, like any horrible time. I mean, like any as a time where you're like slogging it out. It was fun, like falling spontaneously asleep and spending. I mean, there are all these like little pockets of good times that I had with, and I made my first few friends there as well. Like, because we were locked up, cooped up in one room for almost more than like 50-60 days.
Is there any
I mean,
big
we
incident?
spent like almost every breathing moment together. Any?
Can you hear my voice, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry.
So, is there any one big happy incident that college reminds you of that happened in your life, in your college life? Anything big, anything memorable at all?
Hmm.
First date?
I couldn't tell you honestly, but I mean, again, it doesn't have to be. For me, again, it's never been like there's never been like discrete I mean, big moments as such. But um, I mean, maybe the most memorable. I can think of maybe two or three. I mean, in third year there was again, like participating in the competition that we talked about, that I talked about. So I had actually, like I had participated solo in one of the competitions, and it turned out that I won. And someone
Oh,
actually, and I wasn't there in the convention when it was being announced. So someone actually recorded a video of that, and I could see like how happy everyone was, and that was, that was like, it was very, very sentimental. And around the same time, there were also like so many profs. Not so many profs actually, but maybe just a handful who were so kind and nurturing, and like I could tell them that I wasn't really feeling well, that I was probably depressed and wasn't feeling up to things in general, and they were actually sort of understanding and said, take your time, do what you have to do, and हाँ मतलब that's, and after learning about the kind of stuff that the people have said in the pandemic, like someone's, I think, father or someone passed away, and profs like, why didn't you turn up for class? So
oh yeah.
all of this seemed a little, yeah, it seemed almost unimaginable to me. I wasn't surprised because I know the kind of people who live in IITR, but yeah, it was sort
Who
of
is
nice
the
to know.
sir? Who is the coolest professor in IITR according to you? The coolest.
Just,
Mm-hmm.
um, I, there are quite a few. Depending on the versions of coolness. There was a prof in the civil department called is it Alok Ahuja? Dr. Ahuja. Okay, I don't know his. I forget his first name. He was married to a prof in our department, Rita. Both of them were very solid characters. Um,
Uh-huh.
Dr. Ahuja was like, so we were taught, I think we got two courses with him. We did two courses with him. In the first course, he was exceedingly strict. Like, if you so much as smiled, you were thrown out of the class, or at least you
Nice.
were berated, or your mom was like, I don't know, like your parents didn't teach you manners or something like that happened.
Mm.
Um, in the second time he was doing the course, he was almost like, I think he was on the verge of retirement, and by that, and for some reason he became like very, very lax. His obviously his capabilities as a teacher did not go down, but he was a lot more relaxed and
Chill person
welcoming.
he
And then
became.
yeah, we had like a few lighter moments with him. His
Okay.
wife was also his wife is also now retired, but she used to like almost, she was like a sass queen, I guess you could call her. She
Oh.
was, and she would berate people just for the fun of it. Then currently, I'd say, either Dr. Ram Satish or Dr. Chani. It's between them. Dr. Ram Satish is like sort of like we have an area of interest that overlies, but we don't see things the same way. And Dr. Chani was like always very sort of encouraging, and um, like he was head of the department for the most of the time that I was studying. And yeah, he was very enthusiastic, very encouraging, and always supporting crazy ideas, that sort of person.
Okay. So were you given any nickname by your friends in the institute, and what is the basis of that nickname?
No, just Lanka. No one called me.
Just Lanka. Lanka from Ramayana type of Lanka. I mean,
Yeah, that's the joke everyone makes the first few times they hear my name, but yeah,
oh,
nothing stuck really.
okay. What is the most days in the college that you've gone without bath, without bath?
Oh, this is actually related to the first question, the competition in my first year.
Oh yeah.
We weren't
Huh.
allowed to bathe. So I
How
think
many
I hit
days?
22 days. 22
20,
days in
22
December.
days?
We weren't allowed to bathe. And I believe one of my classmates went without a month. Like one of the classmates who was also doing it.
Oh wow.
So
Wonderful. Best offbeat eating place in college.
Hmm.
Do we have amazing food in college? Because I, as a first year, I have never been to college, so
Oh,
I'm
shit.
yeah sad. Yeah, feel sorry for me. This is it.
Uh, I would honestly say that I don't know why people complain about mess food. I honestly think mess food is really, really good.
Really, really good. Oh my
Uh,
god. Okay, you're
I
a
mean,
first.
it's really good as because I was in a residential school before that, and
Mm-hmm.
the the food that we used to get was maybe it was diverse, but it wasn't like taste nahi tha usme bilkul. But at least at least in the bhavans I've lived, which is like Azad, Rajiv, and later Jawahar. So all these bhavans are good messes, at least for the time that I was there, and always obviously egg coupons and so on are pretty helpful as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you know.
I do not. So best of
You get like the
eating place. You did not answer that.
I was thinking. Is it you? Do you mean inside campus?
Huh, inside campus.
Um,
Inside and around.
based
ज़्यादा दूर भी नहीं.
but based on the memories, I would say the architecture department canteen because we so much of our, so much of the chilling was actually done in the canteen. I mean, whenever we felt bored or like overworked, we would just go there and have tea or coffee.
Yeah.
And
I
we
heard
would always
this.
go in hordes.
I heard this place called Sikki Momos in some podcast. So how's that? Have you ever been there?
I've not been there. I'm not much of a foodie. Matlab,
Foodie. अच्छा.
um, Alpahar is good. Alpahar ke samose especially were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Alpahar is it's sort of it's close to Khosla International, so you'll have to go there
No
later on.
idea at all. But okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Just remember it.
Mhm.
Uh,
What according to
and
you? Hi, please. Yeah, tell me, please, sir.
I guess that's it. Bahar ka to I really can't say. I mean, they're all equally. I think they're all equally bad. I mean, at least they're not, worth the food,
Going outside and eating types.
the price. हाँ
Okay.
मतलब I would honestly think that ऐसे अंदर कैंपस के अंदर काफी सही
काफी सही. अच्छा. So, what according to you is the best date place?
I mean my idea of a date has never been like a meal together or anything, so I would honestly say just walk the campus and talk to your date over
Long
there,
walk,
get to know
midnight.
them. Yeah,
Ooh.
maybe not midnight. Midnight is shady, but like just, I
Evening.
don't know. Yeah, evening works, I guess, as long
Okay,
as your
guys.
date.
All the audience, whoever is watching, midnight walks or late night walks or walks in general, note this down.
It's also
And
very budgetary. मतलब वैसे budget wise भी है मतलब it's not like
exactly, very budget friendly. So on a serious note, what would the fourth year you, matlab current you, say to the first year you? Is there anything that you would tell?
I would say don't be a bitch to your classmates and don't
Ouch.
work so hard.
Matlab
That's
have
it.
more
Be
fun.
kind.
Is that
Not my ideas of fun have also never been.
funny?
Uh, I mean, I don't really believe in the concept of fun. My idea of fun is like reading a book or like learning something new. Honestly, I'm not like I'm not one to go on trips or drink or say do all that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but I would just say like be kinder to people, be more understanding, and maybe not as a don't push yourself as hard as you did in the first 1.5, 2 years almost.
Yeah, so is there anything about college that you thought you would never miss, but right now you're missing it the most, or missing it about the college?
Mm. Right. mean, I guess it'll be. I thought I wouldn't miss. I don't think so, no.
There's nothing you
But
thought
I
you
do,
wouldn't miss.
not really. I mean, but I do miss. Um, I mean, I knew I would miss them, but I miss my friends and I miss the campus in general. I haven't been back for a substantial amount of time since my third year ended. Like it was first, it was a gap year. I mean, first it was semester exchange and semester and internship. Then it was a gap year, and then COVID happened. So
That's sad.
yeah,
That's sad for all of us, actually.
campus life in general, I think
Mhm.
it's what I miss the most.
Okay, is there any like did you do anything silly to impress your crush anytime in college? The most silliest thing that you did to impress your crush in the college?
Hmm. I mean, firstly, I've only ever had one intra-college crush, and I didn't do anything.
To impress her as
I
such?
wouldn't say silly. I wouldn't say
Okay,
silly, but
crazy.
I was
Huh?
not.
Huh?
Nah, I mean, I wasn't really into impressing people. Firstly, so maybe I mean I might have posted a little bit about stuff which was weird for me, but it felt weird to me. Um, but yeah, nothing silly as such. But yeah, I mean, I would say some, let's say, like I crossed a few boundaries that I shouldn't have, and I only like realized that like 2 years later.
Oh,
Um, boundaries, I'm not talking about like sexual harassment or something. I mean, not
relax.
this,
Relax.
but
No, no, no.
uh,
Didn't think that way.
just
Didn't go
about
that
like
way.
certain, yeah, yeah. So I definitely learned from. I made a few mistakes that I was very, very ashamed. And like I still am very ashamed of.
We all do. We all do. No problem in that. And mm, did you ever get caught while cheating in exams or anything back in college? Oh, you're a topper, right? You were.
I've
You are.
never cheated, and there have been exams where, in our first year, when everyone was on their phones, and I still refused to like look into someone's paper or get into it myself.
Assignments
So
assignments भी आप खुद कर लेते थे क्या?
yeah, I mean,
Mostly,
I
you mean?
yeah, not mostly. I mean, most of the time I was groups maybe. I mean, um, mostly I was the one doing most of the work. Um, it's only until like the final year, like this year, that I had to, because I was like very very थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही uh, depressed हो गया था. Like I was on meds and stuff, so that time I had to let people sort of take over for me. And yeah, I mean, and it was sort of unfair also because like we were working in a group, they did most of the work,
Mm.
and because the exam was like had a greater percentage weightage, I could somehow I did better than them, and then we were almost 3 grades apart, so that
Uh,
felt very shitty. I mean, it's only something that has happened in the last year of college, and that too because of yeah, I mean, because I wasn't really able to, like, I wasn't physically capable of things.
no problem, no problem. Anna. So, best advice that you received in the college?
I don't listen to advice.
Did you give any
That
advice to anyone else in the college that they thank you
I don't.
for?
I don't think so. I just. I mean, most of the time it's just to like. Um. I mean, most of the time it's really. I have very few juniors that I talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Um. But I mean, very few juniors that are sort of close and like giving advice sort of close. So I mean, the only advice that I've given to one individual is to chill out and like not try to do so many things in one time, because I was that person.
You
And
were
I
that.
remember getting burnt out and just feeling it's almost like the more you do, the more inadequacy you feel, and it just isn't worth it. Like doing something all the time and not really just doing what you want to do, just doing things to build your profile, get something on your CV, or just not to sit idle for that matter. So yeah, that's the only advice. Like chill out and just do a little more of the things that you like doing.
So, audience, whoever is watching this, you should take down that, and it is really important to enjoy. So, what is the favorite thing to do? Your favorite thing to do in college when you're feeling low?
Oh, I mean, I don't like that I do it, but I generally binge TV series. Um, like
Like guilty pleasures?
very, matlab, all like while I watched, I obviously have like an overwhelming sense of guilt and even like anxiety, but I still watch it. Um, I think in at the end of third year, I binged like 5 seasons of Breaking Bad during ETA, which was
Mhm.
I don't know how I did it. I mean, it was like a stretch of 10 or 12 days, and I managed to finish all of Breaking Bad. So yeah, I mean that was my go-to pleasure when I was feeling low. When I was a little more mindful, maybe reading a book. But
What is the best book you've read?
it's a tough one.
Oh my
Um,
God. What kind of, which genre do you enjoy?
I mean, for the most part, I used to read a lot of fiction, Pele, but recently, maybe over the past 1.5 years, I've been reading a lot more non. I mean, I've actually almost exclusively been reading nonfiction. But my favorite books are actually like from fiction. Um, I would say most relatable is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Like that was very. I felt very connected to that book. Like it's always special to me. I don't think it's objectively great, but yeah, it was like a very like I felt a sort of connection with that book. Um, the best book would be between The Grapes of Wrath by Steinbeck and The Narrow Road to the Deep North by Flanagan. It's one of them.
How do you gather the patience to read a book? Because look at me, मैं एक book लेती हूँ and then I cannot even read 10 pages straight in a row. Just never happens as normal reading or कुछ भी book reading is never my thing. How do you do it?
I don't know honestly. Like I,
You find
I,
solace
I,
in that happiness
I
in writing.
don't. Um, I mean, pehle I used to read books because I wanted to, be a better writer, and I thought, like if I read books with a good uh,
Vocabularistics and
not just vocabulary, but the sort of language that they use, the sort of imagery, the sort of narrative techniques that they use. So I thought all of these would help me to become like a better writer.
those are the
Uh,
reasons why I want to read a book too, but it just doesn't happen with me. Sad life.
I don't know. I think once you're like once you're engaged, it's easy to keep going and keep going. It becomes progressively easier. Um, and obviously, if you're reading about something that you're in, I mean, I think you should probably just try and find something that you're interested in first, so that like you have at least there is some intrinsic thing keeping you going. Even I haven't been able to like push myself through books. Like there are a lot of at least 5, 6 books that I've begun, and as many times as I've tried, I couldn't get past a certain point because it was I don't know, it just became unreadable. Like Pride and Prejudice, the Portrait of Dorian Gray, some non-fiction books on like matters that I would always talk about.
Mhm.
But matlab, it's hard to push yourself through a book if you're not interested at all. So yeah, pick something that you're at least partly interested in, and
I
maybe you'll know just a little bit about.
Okay, fantastic. Now, best trip with your friends or anything as such?
Best trip?
Best trip with your friends, or uh, ever chilled out with your friends and that night made your day, or you know, any moment like that?
Um, I mean, there were lots of moments like that. Like in my batch, um, I mean, I didn't drink as a load, or I drink like maybe 2, 3 sips every time there's a Daru party. But I used to throw a lot of Daru parties because dad has like he's ex-military, so he gets cheap liquor and ऐसे वो हो जाता है.
Acha.
So a lot of the Daru parties were like fairly memorable. Like everyone gathered around in one room and just sitting, listening to music and going around. The watch out night outs were also pretty great.
Tomso,
Um,
how was it?
Tom's, I was in Tom's, so the only thing I would look forward to was the music. And I would say the first year was the best, and then it was pretty much downhill from there. Because I mean, I didn't attend any Thomso after third year,
Mhm.
um, because of various things. But Thomso K only the music was like I was only looking forward to the music.
Fantastic.
Uh,
So,
but,
if I had to find you somewhere in the college, where would it be? Where, ante, I mean, where is the first place that a stranger would look at? I mean,
I
your
would
friend,
either be
obviously, not a stranger.
um, either in my room or in the department.
Okay,
Just two places. I'm a very boring person.
no problem at all. It's going good so far. So, as a last, on that note, anything that you would want to tell to your friends to this podcast, or anyone from the college to the audience, piece of advice to your branchmates, juniors from your branch, or any first year, I kuch bhi.
Hmm. I honestly, I don't. Um, yeah, I think the problem with advice is that I mean, especially for me, I come from a very different sort of um, background than most people. For example, I mean, it's I don't like absolutely have to find a job or drown in financial debt, or I'm not in that sort of do or die sort of environment, and I haven't been. Um, I would just say, like, as far as possible, try not to do things for money. I mean, or as soon as possible, start doing things that you agree with
That are good for your
on
mental peace.
on an individual level. I, I mean, anything that you want to do that is, some. I mean, if you make money and you want to do it, that is the best, alternative. But I just think that money shouldn't be
The driving
the
force
be all. Yeah, the
behind
be
what you
all and
do.
end all. Because a lot of people, I mean, I've seen people get so say concerned about placements and about making money in the future. Um, yeah, I mean, and also as a politically also like let's just say I'm an anti-capitalist to begin with. So all of this just it yeah it makes me very uneasy, almost like nauseate. And yeah,
Mhm.
so it sort of induces nausea.
No problem at all. So I guess we're done with our questions. Anything else, or anything else?
No, thank
Uh,
you for interviewing me and being so patient, I guess.
no,
Um,
I quite
yeah,
enjoyed it. Thank you so much for choosing onRec. And
yeah,
yes,
okay. Bye, bye, Tanu. No.
good night, sir. Good night.
Good
Well,
night, Tanu.
I think
What's
it's
your
been
full name? Sorry.
it's Tanushri Sultan. Tanushri Sultan. So I hope this has been a little ride back down the memory lane, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for choosing onRec, and good luck with everything that you're gonna do from now on, sir.
Thank you, Tanushree. Good luck to you too. I hope you enjoy college.
Thank you so much. I hope I go there first. Well,
Yeah, I know. It's pretty sad as a first year. मतलब एक पूरा साल हो गया and you haven't been able to come.
haven't been there exactly. It's so sad. Okay,
Where
so
do you
thank
live
you.
in?
Yeah,
Where do you live in
Warangal.
Andhra?
Warangal. It's
Oh,
Telangana.
right, right. Yeah, I'm not very caught up on the state divide yet. I
తెలుగు
still
అస్సలు రాదా?
haven't
Like
figured
అర్థమవుతుందా? Do you understand?
అర్థమవుతుంది లైక్ నేను మాట్లాడొచ్చు కొద్దిగా బట్ ఐ డూ ఇట్ విత్ అ వెరీ స్ట్రేంజ్ యాక్సెంట్ దట్ ఈస్ లైక్ ఐ బీన్ టోల్డ్ ఆన్ మోర్ దెన్ వన్ ఒకేషన్ టు షట్ అప్ బికాజ్ మై
బాగుంది మీ యాక్సెంట్.
యాక్సెంట్
It's good. You should try
ఐ
off.
డోంట్ నో yeah I mean I learned it speaking to my cousins mostly but
తెలుగులో
like
మాట్లాడండి
I can
సార్.
understand for sure
తెలుగులో మాట్లాడండి. తెలుగు
చాలా
సినిమాలు
టైం తెలుగు సినిమా నేను చూస్తానులే ఐ మీన్ మోర్ లైక్ మై ఫాదర్ వాచెస్ ఇట్ అండ్ సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఐ సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ జాయిన్ ఇన్ విత్ హిమ్ but I listen to I mean I lived in Tamil Nadu for like a long time, like 6.5 years. I was there full time, and then I used to go there for holidays. So I like Tamil and Telugu. I sort of know
కొంచెం
like to
కొంచెం
a
వచ్చు.
decent extent.
అచ్చా.
Tamil, I actually learned how to read and write also, but Telugu
Wow.
I haven't.
So you speak Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, 5 languages?
No, four.
Oh
Tamil,
yeah,
Telugu,
sorry,
Hindi.
4. And I'm in IIT. People watch this video, I'm going down. Okay, 4.
It's okay. Chalo.
Chalo
Okay.
then.
Bye,
So thanks.
Tanushi.
Bye bye, sir.
Good.
It was amazing talking to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Bye
same.
bye.